I've discussed multi-level marketing companies in multiple lights before on my channel. I've shown the medicine-avoidant communities they foster, I've compared them against a descriptive model of cults used by cult expert Stephen Hassan, and I've told my story of how I almost joined Young Living Essential Oils. What I haven't gone over yet is the realization I had several years ago that first made me skeptical of MLMs as a whole. MLMs know how to break the law and get away with it. Largely what I'm referring to here are health and supplement MLMs, but some of what I'll go over may apply more broadly as well. My main premise is this. There are laws in place in most developed countries which prohibit that which has not been shown effective in treating disease, such as dietary supplements, from being marketed and sold as something which does. Supplements can't legally be sold as medicine. However, MLMs are structured perfectly, and I think intentionally, to sell their products as if they are medicinal, without the companies themselves technically breaking any laws. Before we get on to how they do this, let's first go over the laws at play here. Since I'm in the US, I'll be referencing US law. In the Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act, drugs are defined as articles intended for use in the diagnosis, cure, mitigation, treatment, or prevention of disease in man or other animals. It also says a food, dietary ingredient, or dietary supplement for which a truthful and not misleading statement is made is not a drug solely because the label or labeling contains such a statement. Basically, to be legally considered a drug, a substance must be awarded that label by the FDA, which will only award that label after a substance is shown through extensive clinical testing to safely and effectively treat a disease. Dietary supplements are very different. The FDA defines them as a product intended for ingestion that contains a dietary ingredient intended to add further nutritional value to the diet. They're essentially regulated like food. Their supposed medical benefits are not tested or regulated. This means that you can sell just about anything edible as a supplement, just like essential oils, weight control shakes, juice blends, etc. Now, if you sell a product classified as a dietary supplement, it's illegal to directly claim it treats any disease. Only science-based, FDA-approved legal drugs can be said to treat diseases. If you break that law, your products can be seized, you can be fined, and you can even be put in prison. Obviously, since we've all seen MLM products touted as cures to diseases, these claims are being made somewhere. So let's go on to how MLMs make that happen without getting in legal trouble. Testimonies. This may be the simplest and most obvious way this is done, but it's probably where the most absurd claims about MLMs come from. As you likely already know since you were interested enough to click this video, MLMs encourage their independent distributors to market the products on their own, especially to their friends and family. Naturally, most distributors share their experiences with the products as a part of that marketing. Where those stories start to become outlandish is where the legality of this process ends. If you've ever seen a video covering r/anti-MLM or r/insane people Facebook on Reddit, you've probably seen where this gets out of hand.
Love being able to eat this and not have calories added on to my day. ThermaFit, literally 0 calories. If you want to eat anything you want, all the sweets, and not have to count them as calories, the first 6 people to comment/DM/text me get this product.
I've even covered MLM Essential Oil Facebook groups where members are encouraged to share their experiences with oils to inform others, but every post evolves into explicit discussion of drug claims and medical advice. Looking for recipes for pain and scarring for my niece who is in a terrible car accident and had multiple surgeries. One of the very first comments, "This is awesome for pain. Morphine blend with lemongrass, majoram, and frankincense. Who has used oils and seen real results? Give me your stories." I've gotten off all my medications using the oils. I started using essential oils about 2 years ago, and I haven't used any pharmaceutical since. There are stories about allergies, chronic pain, even autism here. You get the idea. Now, people may argue the distributors aren't supposed to do that. The MLM itself doesn't encourage it. No, that's a lie. First of all, the culture surrounding these companies is so easy to see that there are literally huge communities based around making fun of the ill-informed, legally problematic statements MLM distributors make. Those in charge know these claims are made about their products, and they don't do anything about it unless they get in trouble with the FDA. They're letting it happen on purpose. Second, plenty of companies have lore behind their founding or the invention of their products, which imply that their products have miraculous properties. As many of you know, I'm a little too familiar with Young Living essential oils, so I'll use them as an example. When new distributors are being recruited, they're nearly always told about Gary Young, the founder, discovering essential oils for himself. Young was apparently paralyzed after a logging accident as a young man, but when he discovered essential oils and began studying how to apply them, he was able to use them to make a 100% recovery. His recovery was so miraculous, it's almost as if he sought traditional care or was never paralyzed in the first place. MLMs like Young Living purposely steep their company culture in these stories so that distributors will consistently use them as a selling tool. Evidently, these stories often morph into direct curative claims, which MLMs themselves are not legally allowed to make. Since most distributors make these illegal claims to their friends and family, they're rarely ever reported. And besides, even if they were, as long as an MLM didn't directly tell a distributor to make a curative claim, the legal repercussions largely fall on the independent distributor, not the company. Literature. Lots of health MLMs sell books and pamphlets about their products, which they encourage their distributors to read. What you may not know is that much of that literature is not authored by a direct representative of the company or purposely does not mention specific product brands while heavily implying which brand it's referring to. Essentially, this means that MLMs can and do sell literature which contains drug claims about their products as long as the affiliation between those claims and their brand is implied, not direct. Practically, this allows MLMs to be in league with an author who does not officially represent the company, have them write literature that makes direct drug claims about whatever product they want, and then sell that literature freely. The author isn't selling the products in question, so they can legally make whatever claims they want. Meanwhile, that MLM can distribute that literature as long as they don't arouse FDA suspicion by selling it alongside specific products or publicly endorsing individual claims it contains. I actually own a great example of this marketing tactic. This is the 2013 edition of the Reference Guide for Essential Oils. Some of you probably recognize it from the desk of my old studio setup. Inside, it has a wealth of largely unsourced information about oils, what they're commonly used for, and what they can do. For example, if you go to the very first page of the section on individual oils, it lists a use of angelica oil as treating anorexia. If you go to the second oil listed, it suggests that it can help treat prostate cancer. And if you look over at the third oil, it says that some of its primary uses are treating autism, snake bites, and whooping cough. Obviously, if an essential oil MLM directly stated all of these things, it would get in trouble. Here's something suspicious about this book, though. Look at the bottles on the cover. Now look at this bottle from Young Living. Eerily similar, right? Well, it gets even better. Let me read you a part of the dedication of this book. We, the authors, gathered notes from lectures and seminars by D. Gary Young and product information from Young Living essential oils. Extensive research into the works of other aromatherapy experts has shown us that Gary Young, through his own research and clinical study, not only supports but expands their solid foundation of knowledge and expertise. When this book was first made available in 1996, we made a conscious decision to keep the names of D. Gary Young and Young Living essential oils out of this book so as to remove all possibility of recrimination or harm to Gary Young or his company. There's no inference to be made here. This book, containing multiple drug claims about essential oils, was directly informed by the founder of Young Living, and the authors were sure not to directly reference the company outside of this dedication as not to incriminate the company. Through this book, Young Living was effectively able to make countless drug claims about their products without technically breaking the law. If you're wondering if other MLMs do this, I encourage you, just look at the literature on their online stores and that which is associated with their name on Amazon. This is a common unethical practice. Classes and lectures. If you've unfortunately had the full MLM experience, you've attended a class or party revolving around the dissemination of information about MLM products and the wonderful opportunity they present. MLMs often encourage their distributors to host these events in their homes, inviting whoever will come. This usually results in primarily close friends and family attending to hear a short presentation drawn from MLM-recommended literature on their products. As you might guess, distributors itching to sell product or just justify their investment in the company to their loved ones fairly often make direct curative claims about their products in these classes. Given that these presentations often draw from literature associated with the MLM, it's no wonder. These claims are extremely unlikely to be taken to the FDA or FTC, though, as they're made behind closed doors and rarely recorded. On top of that, attendees are usually friends and family who are extremely unlikely to report the illegal activity of their loved one. A slight variation of this is the lecture from a non-distributor. At MLM distributor-run events and official conferences, speakers are hired to give lectures on topics ranging from motivation to business to science. All too often, so-called science lectures are filled with unsourced claims about the healing properties of some natural substance and multiple anecdotes of people using it to treat illnesses and miraculously recovering. Of course, the substance in question is one that's sold by the MLM running the event. As long as speakers don't mention any brands in their claims and aren't selling any products themselves, this is legal. Besides, at events where these lectures are given, the attendees are almost exclusively distributors or fans of the MLM products about which things are being implied. Even if a speaker were to slip into legally iffy territory, the chance of their claims being reported would be very low. How the model protects the company. The rule of thumb for MLMs taking advantage of these methods of illegal advertising is always maintain plausible deniability. If a customer gives a testimony implying that an MLM's products can cure cancer, the MLM can say, "They said it, not us." If an author claims that products like theirs can cure anorexia, an MLM can say, "They wrote it, not us." If a distributor gives a presentation inspired by that literature making further curative claims, the MLM can say, "That distributor misused that literature and we do not condone such behavior." And if a lecturer claims that their products are better than medicine, the MLM can say, "That speaker represents no one but themselves. They said it, not us." This is what the MLM structure is for. It's a shield for false advertising. There's enough distance between distributors and the company itself that the MLM maintains plausible deniability in most situations. When an MLM sells supplements and health products, this means that countless drug claims about their products can be made without the company facing the legal consequences. You may have heard the saying that the true customers in an MLM are the employees, or distributors. That's true, but they're even more than that. They're a proxy for the company in illegal and unethical advertising. They're a patsy in the company's legal defense. They're at the bottom of the pyramid, bearing the weight and getting little in return. If you're in an MLM, I'm sorry to say it, but those at the top know how much you give and they know how vulnerable you make yourself in doing so. What you need to realize is they don't care how much you do or sacrifice or make yourself legally accountable for them, as long as they're making money and you're helping them do it. Thanks for watching. I've been Drew of Genetically Modified Skeptic. As always, go ahead and subscribe. Check out my Patreon. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook at GMSkeptic. Join my Discord. Please don't join or support MLMs. And until next time, stay skeptical.